Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast episode. I didn't check 118, I think.
118. Hello,
this is the official WWE Elimination Chamber Toronto 2025 predictions episode.
Let's go.
We got a big one. We're going through all the matches. We're going to go through what, bled from Raw and, everything kind of comes full circle.
Yep.
We got a big one. How are we? How we feeling?
Feeling good. Ready to talk some Chamber. 4 big matches to talk about. Not the usual 5 that we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
The 5. Maybe something else will get announced on SmackDown. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for to see what we have in store because this is going to be very unpredictable.
I was going to say it's a crazy card. It's an unpredictable card as we're getting down to WrestleMania. Before we get into things, a couple plugs off the bat. One, we got merch in the description. You can pick up yourself a hat, t-shirts, beanies, all sorts of stuff. We'd appreciate it. Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling for a bonus wrestling Q&A podcast right on top of this podcast. We answer a bunch of your questions and talk about other stuff and blah, blah, blah. What else? I feel like that's the plugs.
Yeah, I think
we are elephant in the room. We are dressed very similar today.
We have
Not
similar
on purpose.
attires.
I was going to change, but I was like, it's already on.
Keep it together.
So,
it's cute.
All right, so we can go. Well, actually, we have to talk about this before we get into predictions. We're chatting about
The Soul Snatcher
The
himself,
Rock.
The Soul Snatcher.
The Rock is digging holes and taking souls. The Rock wants Cody's soul.
What a fucking promo.
This was electric.
So I just
crazy.
like for context, I went home on Friday just to like see my family and hang out with my buddy Peter, and we're hanging out at his house, and I said to him, I'm like, listen, like we could have on whatever basketball game, whatever games you want, but when The Rock comes out, like I'm watching that. And he was just like, no, like, yeah, absolutely. And we watched it from start to finish, and me and him were just like talking about it after. I'm like, that was fucking crazy, interesting.
I mean, we're not gonna be saying anything too new, but I definitely want to touch upon it, especially because it bleeds into something we're gonna see at the Chamber. But he came. Oh, first of all, he announced WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans.
They were there,
great word.
So makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
Comes out to Lil Wayne's. What was it? Block is hot.
Block is hot. Like cut, which that should have been the first indication of like, what are we doing?
Yeah, this is goofy.
I love Wayne, but it just it just cut the music. The graphics changed and then it cut back.
It didn't blend well.
Weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. Respect, but
for sure. And then Rock comes out, he announces it, and then he turned heel like 4 different times.
I was trying so hard to understand what part, if we were getting Final Boss Rock or CEO Rock,
because
then
he's like
board of directors.
Oh, we're gonna be in New Orleans, WrestleMania 42, and then he's like,
you all have STDs.
Yeah, and then he did his shtick of just like, and I don't want to come back here, this STD riddled, and just like,
you broke the record of most people STDs in one arena at the same time.
What are you? I don't know, man. And like the big brain, quote unquote, big brain thinking is like maybe he snapped. Maybe his mind like keeps drifting.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone out there has watched Severance, his mind keeps drifting back and forth between the two personalities or whatever. I don't think that's the case. I think that's just like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. And then Cody comes out and he does the whole, I don't want your title, I want your soul, basically saying, join me, come to the dark side, blah, blah, blah.
My thing here is the idea of it, right? I'm interested in.
Fully agree.
Yeah. So interested in like where this is heading. Yep. Like you're the people's champ, Cody, but he wants him to be the corporate champ, right? I think that's what we're getting from it.
Yeah.
That promo was 15 minutes too long. I think he was just going and he was just at one point repeating things that didn't make sense. Yeah. Then he gets to the point where I don't want that. I want your soul. And I'm like, gotcha. Why didn't you say that 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Because it was just the wording of it was confusing. And even like, obviously Cody's playing off like he's fucking confused too. But I actually think he was genuinely thinking like, what riddle is he throwing at me right now? I'm all for the idea of it. Like I'm locked in. Like it was confusing, but I'm interested in what happens next. But
that's why I think people overreacted. Mm-hmm. It's bad. I'm not defending the promo, but it happened and people were like, we're off the rails. This is terrible.
This is 30 minutes. I'm not going to get back or whatever.
But then you look at we got the very, very edited version of the promo last night on Raw, and it was like good.
Yeah,
it was
good.
Like, and obviously they cut it. They cut it, and they left out all the shit about him turning heel 4 times, him calling the crowd STD real whatever. And then they cut it right down. They cut all the good parts, and they got the good angles of him just being, I don't want this, I want your soul, and da. And it's like, oh, words that like.
Gotcha.
Like you said, that's why I'd taken the idea away from it. Was like, oh, this was Saul. The execution was terrible.
Yeah, big
but
time.
People gotta relax.
Yeah,
I don't think it was as bad.
It's not like the worst segment of all time levels or
that's
anything.
How people react.
I agree. And as confusing as it was, and as much as we were questioning what the fuck does this all mean, that doesn't mean that it was the worst thing that we've laid our eyes on in wrestling history. It wasn't.
Like, a part of me loved it. Because love is a strong word, but a part of me enjoyed it, liked it, because like that's part of what I like about wrestling. It is off the rails. It's wacky, it's silly. Guys go out there, and you don't know what they're gonna say. It's live TV. It's getting us. It was the most talked about segment for that weekend or whatever.
We're far removed from it, but like the night after WrestleMania, The Rock and Cody had a 30-minute segment where The Rock exchanged belts with them, saying. Like doing deep breaths, going, yeah, this feels good, and like obviously I don't know if we're gonna ever do anything with that.
I forgot about that. That's so
like
silly.
That was the same level as that was confusing. But I get that when he comes back, he wants the belt. Like that's what we're getting from it. But everything was just told weird or whatever. Same concept here. I think the story itself of Cody joining the dark side is great.
I really like it.
I like the idea of it. I like the story. It was executed terribly on SmackDown.
We kind of talked about a while ago if they were gonna play into The Rock being like corporate and being on the board. Like I think we were talking about. I think we were more closer to the Rumble this past year.
Sure.
We were like, oh, is The Rock gonna invoke his TKO privileges?
31 thing,
exactly.
Right.
So it is kind of like what they're doing in a sense, and. It's very reminiscent of Attitude Era stuff where you're playing into these real life roles, but obviously heighten it up to a million. It's still, and I'm not trying to just give it unnecessary props because there is still a lot of like that doesn't make sense. Like remember, like
of course.
Months ago when The Rock, like The Rock like the 3 shit, The Rock like hugging Cody, The Rock showing the picture of like. Their moms
like
being
we're
pals.
friends now and
stuff. Like that
shit
still doesn't make sense. It's making more sense. It's like, oh, maybe he's being manipulative. Like, sure. There is a lot of like gaslighting yourself you gotta do to make it
100%.
You know what I mean?
And I think like I'm looking at it too where and they did a whole press conference after SmackDown, which was
I heard. I didn't watch it, but I heard.
I think it was just The Rock. I didn't watch it, but I only saw The Rock on. I think it was just he's like, give me another 15 minutes to talk about some shit. It's like if he's not gonna wrestle. And if he's around and stuff, like he can't condition his body, have him be an on-screen figure, like moving in the background of this, authority figure that has all this power. Because he said, like, I'm on board of directors. This guy runs the company, but I have the power and stuff. So really, just if you're not going to be around, you're not going to wrestle. And then he said at the press conference after that, final boss and Cody doesn't need to have a match.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you said that.
That was really the biggest takeaway, which makes me my point of being maybe he's just showing up to be a part of the story that doesn't involve him fighting. Which could be likely.
I don't think it's gonna be too shocking. I don't think it's gonna be too shocking if that tag team match is the extent that we saw of him in ring. I don't know if we can get or are getting. Or if he's, I don't know what his capabilities are.
The reality of it, he's a 50-year-old
match.
man. You know what I mean? It's like he's The Rock, but he's Dwayne Johnson that's 50-something years old, the movie actor, and, hasn't had a one-on-one match in well over 10 years.
Yeah.
We have to face reality that, we might not get the dream matches of, him and Roman, him and Cody. I mean, could we have at one point and something happened along the way that changed plans? Sure. But, we have to be realistic in saying that we might not see The Rock have those matches, have a one-on-one match again.
We're gonna come back to this because we're gonna talk about because they have an official segment for Elimination Chamber. If Cody's gonna
takes
give
up
him his soul,
the fifth match, I guess.
It's gonna take up the time. It's gonna go.
Well, if we saw The Rock on SmackDown, they'll definitely take up 20-30 minutes at least.
Maybe that should be a bonus point. Over under 13 minutes,
or over
under
15, selling maybe. His soul or not.
I think that's going to be
snatched.
I think I have that as a prediction.
Do you? Okay, word.
I guess I should tell you. I I kind of forgot I put it in here, but one of the predictions is, does Cody give The Rock his soul? Yes or no? That's kind of just like 1 point, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move into. Oh, also, sorry, one more thing before we really get into it. We're working on the third iteration of Family Feud.
That's right. That's why Rock held up the three fingers for three Jeopardy videos.
I do Family Feud.
Family Feud.
I do think it's going to be. It is WWE. I already made the fucking questions. It's WWE specific this time, so it's just WWE Family Feud. Also, so I don't have to put a number in the title, so that works out. But point being, I'm capping it at 100 responses, 100 or so. I gave it to the Patreon and the Discord first. I am, just to fill out the numbers, I'm going to drop it in the comments of this, but I'm closing it soon. So if you're the first to get in there. So check the comments, see if it's still there.
First come, first serve.
Whatever. But if you want to, this is just another plug for whatever. I probably shouldn't do 2 plugs. But if you want first access and stuff like this, whatever, that's why we drop it on the Patreon and the Discord whenever they have first access. Okay.
Right.
We'll go into Elimination Chamber predictions,
Let's
folks. Ooh, this is for the SCW predictions champion, and I am pretty sure you are the champion.
Oh, that doesn't. That's probably could be right, but
let's go. Haven't seen this puppy in a while. Look at her.
Here she is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I am the champ. I'm just not. Yeah, dusted off a little bit. Not used to being the champion, but I believe I am the reigning champ.
So the SCW Predictions Championship will be on the line this Saturday at Elimination Chamber. We have our first match. We're doing 4 confidence points. We're going back to the confidence points for this. We have a couple of bonus questions.
Yep.
First match, though, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. That everyone was quick to remind us that we forgot was an official match last week.
Yep. Slipped past us.
I think that day I had three pages of notes, so that's all. Sorry I didn't get everything.
Yeah, not gonna always be perfect, but yeah,
this one's pretty cut and dry. I honestly don't have too much to say about this. I think this is it's Trish Stratus. They're in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's Tiffany Stratton with her. This is a Trish Tiffany win. This is my 4 confidence points. Candice LeRae and Nia are there to eat the loss.
I can't disagree with you. Yeah, I have Stratton and Trish for my 4 points.
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it. I mean, Trish Stratus, first match in almost a year, looked great in the Rumble, so I'm sure she'll look even better in the ring at Elimination Chamber. I'm just curious if it'll lead to, more Trish Stratus appearances in the future, maybe another run, we'll see. Because cool. I feel like her last run was kind of, it just kind of ended, and we were kind of looking for more
it was
her.
Abrupt. It had an abrupt ending.
So hopefully we see some more out of her, and I'm looking forward to this match too. Should be fun.
Thought I had. To that point though, I'm hoping too. But we also kind of got promised like a Nikki Bella run post Rumble. So like who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? I'm hoping
all
for
up
it.
In the air.
I do love the idea of like Trish being like, she is the veteran, she is the blueprint of WWE women's wrestling, and being paired with this like. Obviously the current WWE champion, like this young, the future.
Yep.
How old's Tiffany? Like 26, 25, some
very
shit.
young. Very
you know what I mean? I really love this matchup.
I am kind of surprised that Nia and I get storyline wise, but I'm surprised they're the tag team because Chelsea Green is from Canada too. So I would have thought it would have been like Chelsea and Piper Niven maybe to be in the tag team, just to kind of, add in another, Canadian in there, but yeah, I guess not.
My instant was she did complain to Nick all this on Smash. She's like, I'm from Canada too.
She's having a match, I think, on Friday, like an open match. I don't know. Is it in Canada on Friday? I'm not too sure.
Yes, they are. That's why.
You know what? Maybe they do Chelsea Trish 1-on-1. Maybe they give Trish a singles match before. That could be something.
I think the only reason they didn't do it because then you have like I think they want Trish to be cheered
100%. Chelsea's gonna get cheered a little bit for sure. 100%.
But yeah, this is cool. Trish Stratton, Tiffany, 4 points. Is your 4-pointer? What's it say for this? 4-pointer.
4-pointer.
All right. We'll move on to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned.
Getting a phone call.
But that happens every single
spam.
Yes. 100% spam. Sorry.
Always spam.
Forgot to put that on silent. My bad. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens unsanctioned match.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I mean, we talked about how unpredictable this card is. It's not even just the chamber matches. It's Sami and KO too that I think is really hard to kind of pick who's going to win this because I think both of them easily could win this. I think Kevin Owens might need a little bit more than Sami, but like I really can see both of them winning and losing. So
I could even see
it not ending in a result. I think
I
it
could see
could
them
just end
beating
in a
the shit out of each other.
Yeah, a no
and then
contest.
just them calling it. A couple things here. One, we got a Sami Zayn promo on Raw that he felt, God, he was like, they kind of went over their history a little bit. He was like, explain, which I thought was really good. He explained why this one's different, and they're obviously a little older, a little mature, and he's like, family's never been brought into this. This has brought out a dark side and a side that I don't like of both me and Kevin. He made this. He was like, I forget what his final words were, but he was basically just like, we're gonna fight to the fucking death on Saturday. They gotta both be bloody. They gotta both have
100%.
A crimson mask 100%. For sure.
Like I said, if Triple H lets them go all out and allows them to, this could be one of the more brutal matches that we've seen in recent history.
Like break out everything. Let's get some weapons.
Not?
They're gonna be fighting. I would love like a little backstage brawl sort of thing. Like that would be fun.
Like again, this could have easily been a Mania match. Let this be their Mania match. Let them go all out.
I know like Randy is still looming, like that's definitely in the booking, but like I'm still not convinced that like this is the match. Like if they do the angle where it's like it's a no contest and they're both just laying there bloody
at Mania.
Right. Or even like let's say Kevin wins and Sami's like, he's because like the reason that this is unsanctioned because Sami isn't clear, quote unquote isn't cleared, kayfabe wise. I could see Kevin winning and saying like, let's do this official. I want you one-on-one WrestleMania. Let's get it on the books.
Absolutely.
Or the other way around. Like this, they're in Toronto. They're in Canada, not their home province or whatever. But this could be the match. Then you lead to like Randy gets vengeance on Sami or for Sami.
Sure.
All right, who do you got and why? Yeah, go ahead.
I have someone written down right now, but I'm actually going to go against what I have initially written down. I had Sami, but I'm changing it to Kevin Owens because the more we talk about it, and
that's what I was going to guess you were changing it to.
Yeah, the more I'm like thinking about it, I really think Kevin Owens needs this quote unquote win, or at least needs the upper hand here over Sami. I just think the direction that we're going down with Kevin, just how brutal he's been and just turning on everyone. It's just we need this isn't for a WWE championship, so let him go over. You know what I mean?
This doesn't feel like the babyface climbing up and getting the feel-good win.
Sami
this feels like a brutal, dark beatdown
Yes,
match,
100%.
Sure.
And I just think, I don't know. I look at it of who wins or loses, and I think if Sami loses, it's like, okay, you have the excuse if he's not 100%, it's unsanctioned, this and that, whatever.
That's a good point too. Yeah, they are playing it up that he's like kind of injured or whatever.
But if Kevin loses, it's like this guy can't fucking win. He can't win the big matches. Like I'm not really thinking that of Sami if he loses, more of Kevin Owens. So
especially if you are building to a Kevin Randy,
right?
Like have Kevin win this and then be
you need to build him up as
big
as possible, because even though I don't feel like it would be this way if you lost, but like you are going to get to a point where it's like, okay, well, he keeps losing. So, like, how can we take him seriously? Like, yeah, he's brutal and he's this great character, but he can't win. But on the other side of things, I can see Sami winning because I think Randy could get involved. And I think Randy could and that's why I initially had Sami, because I'm thinking, if you're going to have Sami win, have Kevin lose because someone interferes or Randy gets involved. So I can see that. But I could also see, Kevin winning and then Randy coming back in the next few weeks and you set that up or not. So I'm going to go with Kevin because I think it's makes a little bit more sense, but it could go either way.
What are your points at?
2 points.
Yeah, I'm matching you here. Matching. I wrote it down first. You changed it.
I'm matching you technically.
I have Kevin Owens for 2 points for I kind of already said my piece on it and all the reasons I said, but I think this is gonna be a brutal showing. I think it's gonna be like it's gonna be a scary moment for Sami where he's gonna see his friend do things that he never thought and go to places that he never thought his friend could ever go, and it's I hope it leads to a straight up Mania match.
Sure.
But again, what's Randy gonna do? So Couple of questions actually too. So one, we talked about this a little last week. Really curious the placement here. Now that we're closer, I really don't know. Like last week, I was pretty like, no, it's not main eventing. Now I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean,
just given the nature of it being unsanctioned.
Cody and The Rock now, they're definitely not main eventing. But I think, I mean, the main event now is, deciding between them and the men's
for sure
for me, because the men's now I think carries a little bit more weight with The Rock involvement, because I really think whatever happens in that segment can affect the result of the men's match.
Sure.
I'm not saying
few stories there.
I'm hearing people are saying The Rock is going to enter himself in. I don't see that happening. But no, there's different theories of what could happen.
There's a secret pod that The Rock is in.
Or it's
comes up.
what if Cody says, no, I'm not giving you my soul, but there's someone in the chamber that would give their soul, and The Rock helps them win.
Yeah, I guess I've also been hearing
I've been seeing a few different things along those lines.
I've been hearing if it's not, if it's not Cody giving the soul, who's going to give him the soul?
Exactly. So I mean, I'm not who I pick doesn't carry weight. That doesn't carry weight into who I picked winning the men's chamber. But it is interesting how that men's match does feel a little bit more important, considering that aspect.
For sure.
But I'm still in the camp that Kevin and Sami should main event, just because if you're not, to me, at this point, it's not a Mania match. It's at Chamber. Let them main event it. This is their Mania match.
Yeah, I think I lean. So I think the most important match here is the men's chamber.
The most implications for sure.
Yeah, I said
agree.
important.
Yeah.
So I think that, but if this goes on at the end and they really, if they sell it, I'll be happy if they sell it as all right, the final card's over. Now here's the unsanctioned. If they do that, I'd be like, fucking yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's all right, all the official matches are done. Now we have the
then you get into the argument of what actually main evented, because that was the unsanctioned main event.
Sure.
And that was technically the night 2 of Elimination Chamber.
That would be a funny debate on Twitter.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
My other question. This was the Discord has this as a bonus point, but I don't think we're gonna do it. But shout out the Discord.
Okay.
Shout out. Hold on, sorry, I want to get this right. Dresden and everyone else in there, that they're just the person that posted it, but I think everyone else has their hands making the form. But appreciate, people putting the forms together. But the question was, what T-shirt is Kevin gonna wear, or at least either straight up what T-shirt, or what reference is it gonna make? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Wouldn't be surprised if he wears, him wearing a Sami Zayn T-shirt would make sense. He wore the Sami Zayn Forever Jackass one before.
Yeah, I can see him maybe wearing a I don't know. I was thinking a El Generico, or it's maybe an old throwback.
It's low-key.
I don't know where they stand with legal stuff and everything.
Right.
I'm thinking
I was hoping we get some ROH footage, but obviously ROH AW.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm not sure where they can go there. But yeah, some sort of Sami Zayn, maybe an NXT, early NXT one. It's got to be something Sami Zayn related. I don't know if they have a tag team one. I think Sami Zayn used to have the it was the duct tape, but it was SZ, Kevin has the KO. Okay. Maybe something like that, but it has to be something Sami related.
I'm gonna go the other direction, and I'm gonna go something related to that, because oftentimes he'll kind of do something reflecting the match.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a hardcore match. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna say he goes with an ECW.
Oh, I was thinking Terry Funk, maybe.
Terry Funk, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Terry Funk was the first one I was gonna pick, but I feel like that's too
too easy.
A little too babyface.
Okay.
Because people are gonna cheer Terry Funk. I'm gonna go Sandman. I think he's gonna wear like an old Sandman
That'd be dope.
shirt. You know what I mean?
That'd be pretty
I don't
dope.
think that's likely, but that's my
that'd be
pick.
pretty sick.
Or at least my general pick is it'll be an ECW or Extreme.
Right.
Triple H had an unsanctioned match. Could be an old Triple H shirt.
I'm excited because sometimes, in these matches, they don't wear their normal attire. I think
when Sammy's going to be in jeans and shit. Yeah,
Shawn, when they had Shawn and Triple H had it, Shawn was wearing straight up jeans. Kevin Owens already wears shorts and whatever.
Yeah, they're going to look grimy.
I love it. I can't wait for that.
All right, we will move on to the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The winner goes on to face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. I'll read you the opponents. Or the participants, I should say. We got Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez versus Naomi versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley.
Oh my goodness.
We'll jump to some stuff. So I want to integrate Raw into this because we're not going to talk in normally how we do about Raw. Last night, main event. Liv and Raquel versus Bianca and Naomi for the tag titles. This was fucking fire.
Unbelievable
This
match.
was so
Such
good.
a good match.
That last, the whole match was good, but that last, 6 or 7 minutes with the kickouts and
the table spot and the finish. Oh, my gosh. It was such a great match. And honestly, Liv and Raquel winning makes the Elimination Chamber match, a little bit more, not unpredictable, but I think I'm more, focused on who could win now.
Yeah. Well, them, Bianca and Naomi losing the belts gives a lot of story to, we're getting Jade stuff.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it's 'cause before I was and I was even talking about this when they defend their belts last. I thought they should have lost the belts. I thought we were getting Jade involvement.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
If you get Jade involvement, then it's okay, well, if they're not dropping the belts, then it's gotta be 2 of them turning heel.
Yep.
But then what do you do with Naomi if you're gonna do Bianca Jade? But first of all, Liv and Raquel getting the belts is great. Their match last week against Dakota and Io was fucking sick.
Yeah, they followed it up.
Yeah, they've been doing great. They deserve the belts, but the bigger implication here is Jade, and I'm thinking my prediction is I think it's gonna be I think Naomi's gonna be in the clear.
Okay.
I'm thinking
You think Bianca's the one that attacked Jade?
because then I think we're gonna lead to heel Bianca, face Jade at Mania.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But at the same time, going into...
Oh, wait a minute. That actually contradicts what I have. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say,
that thinking totally contradicts what I am going to say later.
my predictions for the Chamber, I wonder what that means.
I actually don't know. Huh.
This is
okay.
what, this is
That's
what I'm
interesting.
saying. That's such a big...
Might have to change some stuff
that's
around.
been such a big story of, we're expecting that to be the Mania match.
Right.
But now, I initially going into this, I'll tell you, I was thinking Liv was gonna win, before last night. But now she's the tag team champion.
Right, now she's going in with half the belt.
Now I
don't
think she's gonna be involved in the world championship. She very well could, but I don't know at this point she will. I'm thinking maybe Jade was gonna show up last night. And
I would have bet
that's how they lose the belt.
I would have bet the house. I didn't think she was going to cost him, but at the very least, I would have bet the house that at the end, Jade comes in and we get something of a Bianca did it, or
a stare down,
yeah,
or I know it was you, but
I
she's
was so
pointing.
sure.
It's who she pointed. Yeah,
100%.
anything.
I'm with you.
But now that Liv and Raquel are the champs, and now Bianca and Naomi and they're both in the Chamber match. I do think the Jade situation, it's weird because it's that's still very much on the table. And again, that's huge takeaway from the match last night. But now who wins the Chamber? Because I'll tell you who my pick is right now.
We both have Bianca.
My pick is Bianca.
Yeah,
but
or as Wade Barrett would say, Bianca.
Bianca. But I don't know what that means for Jade.
Yeah.
So now
that's why I just had my moment of wait a minute.
Yes. So that's why I figured because now, all right, let's look at the options. So Liv, I think, is out of the running. She was initially my pick, but I don't think she's not the least highest percent chance of winning.
She's in the middle.
But she's in the middle.
I think too, because she's just coming off her year of having the world. I think
she's had a huge year.
She's not in the world title picture right now.
She
so
can,
and
she got the she got the belt, so I'm sure she'll have a big program at Mania. So she doesn't need to be in this feud. Her Alexa, I think it's too early, and I think she's. I think there's gonna be Wyatt Six stuff happening during the match. I think that's when we're gonna
Nikki coming out from the floor. Sick.
I think there's gonna be something there. Naomi, I don't think that she's gonna be. I just don't think her and Rhea. I don't think that involvement's gonna happen. Bianca, I picked her, and then who's
Roxanne?
Roxanne, and then Bailey.
Yes.
Those two, I think they're gonna have their own match. Personally, I just think that's where the feud's going.
I guess there was a little segment that U.S. viewers. I don't know if your Netflix is still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You still don't get the.
I don't get ads. I get it from start to finish.
You must have a secret surf.
I don't I asked Taylor. She said I pay for this. I'm like,
that's crazy.
Okay, all right.
But for everyone else, I guess there was a few segments that got cut. For U.S. viewers, they had the Bailey Roxanne was during commercials.
The backstage commercial.
There's a couple other things, but anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I just think I think Roxanne is gonna have a good showing, and I can even see her finishing
sick,
final two because that's just kind of what they're giving her as being the runner up or whatever, but good performances. I honestly last night I think Bailey at one point to me was like, oh, maybe she'll win because she's the vet, and I think there's gonna be Io involvement at Mania too. So I'm like, maybe it just Io and Bailey have the history. Io Rhea, like I thought maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like thinking,
but so don't Io Bianca. You know what I mean?
Yes. So now I'm thinking, well,
that's some of Bianca's best matches.
Bianca should, like, I think she's the practical winner here at this point because you can do Bianca Rhea, which is a match that everyone has been wanting to see for a long time. And now you can throw, I think it's going to be a triple threat match no matter who wins the chamber. So you have Rhea, Bianca, and Io. Don't get me wrong. Like the whole Bianca Jade storyline, like, I don't know if she's going to be the one that attacked her, or Naomi will, or maybe they both did. I don't know. But if you're going to have a Bianca Jade match, you can hold it off if you're going to replace it with this triple threat match.
For sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. If like it leads to her being the attacker.
And I don't know, like, no shade to Naomi, but the money match is Jade Bianca.
Exactly.
And I just don't see, like, I love Naomi, but I just don't like if she ends up being the attacker and you have Bianca in the triple threat and then you do like Jade Naomi.
Yes.
It doesn't hit as hard.
It's not as box office as Jade and Bianca. And again, it's nothing towards Naomi, but it's like I think the more shock value is seeing Bianca turn heel and not Naomi. That's what I think would be a bigger moment and just more of like a, even if it's kind of expected, we've never seen Bianca as a heel on the main roster. And I think she's even said recently, like, I don't want to turn heel, but if I do, we have to do it right. This in this case.
Then you have heel Bianca and heel Tez.
I think I do think you can make it work by having Bianca being involved in both stories. Like, I don't know. Like, you can sacrifice Bianca Jade at this year's Mania if it means you're going to get a genuine potential match of the year in Rhea, Io, and Bianca.
And then you can build up, like, let's say, I'm not saying I don't know who's going to win, but let's say Bianca wins. Sure. And Bianca's the world champion coming out of Mania. You can build up to Jade Bianca for the title.
Exactly.
You get a little more. Then you have, like, let's say you do it at SummerSlam. You have 6 months to, like, build up Jade as, like, get her some wins, get her some big matches.
And I can see, like, maybe both Bianca and Naomi were attackers. So maybe they're both the heels and they're trying to play it off, instead of one of them, it's both of them. And then Naomi
could very well be the case as well.
And then that's how you get Naomi Jade Mania match. Because I do think Jade needs to have a Mania match. Maybe that's how you get that. And then you can build off Bianca and Jade for the next year, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's long-winded, but it's like there's so many different things you can do now.
Well, I agree with a lot. So, like, I had the same thinking, as kind of here on the pod. But I do have Bianca. I have her 3 points.
Yeah, it's my 3-pointer as well.
And I had the same thinking is I do, like, God, it's so weird because I am so sold that she's the one that attacked Jade. But anyway, I got, because I like the idea. At bare minimum, like you said, if you can juggle 2 storylines perfect, then let's say Bianca wins the chamber, she goes on to face Rhea. We'll talk about the triple threat potential. But Bianca attacks Jade, she's the heel. You have heel Bianca versus face Rhea.
Yeah.
Like, not even thinking about Io yet, but like that's itself.
And what they could have just done to kind of like simplify things or whatever. You could have just had Io in the Elimination Chamber match and win it. You know what I mean? Yep. You could have done a few things here, but again, we could still get the triple threat match, and that would be amazing. So
to talk about that, we are getting Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the title on the Monday after the Chamber.
Yes.
But
then again, like I said weeks ago, like I was thinking Liv could win, and Liv cost the match in a heel way. At this point, is Bianca going to be heel enough where she could cost Io the match or something? So how is Io going to lose or whatever and still get involved?
And what's even like the logic of Bianca getting involved? You know what I mean?
Like, you know what that could easily be is Io loses, and unfortunately, her and Dakota get put in the tag team title picture at Mania. That could piss people off, but that very well could be just what they do.
Here's the thing: they had a great show, and like I said, like that match last week against Liv and Raquel was
it was amazing. It was amazing.
So like if they do a multi-team,
it wouldn't be a terrible spot to be in. Let's
say they do Liv Raquel, Io Dakota, because Dakota's out of the. We'll talk about later. Dakota's out of the IC picture at this point. Metaphor. Throw Metaphor in there.
You can throw in another group. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's a terrible spot to be in by any means. I'm just saying we're going from her being in a world title match to being in a potential multi-person, tag team match. That's all.
I'll tell you this though: if Io somehow, if the 1% Io pulls out the dub. Woo!
That would be insane.
I'd lose my mind.
That would be
lose my mind.
Hey, wins. Rhea's like, I want a rematch clause. Like, all right, triple threat.
Genuinely, like that. Genuinely, like
they could do a shock.
I think you're right. There's gonna be some either if Io wins and Rhea obviously the more likely scenario is the other way around. Rhea wins and then. Io, something happens where Io gets involved. There's going to be something that happens that I think involves. Because also, we're not getting a whole lot of like multi-people matches. Like the world title, I think. Well, the world title could be a triple threat. We don't know yet.
Who knows?
But like, I like the idea of maybe getting some triple threats and some fatal fours and whatever.
I agree.
As well as balancing the singles matches. But yeah, there's a lot of booking that's going to go on. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made. It's going to be interesting. It's unpredictable.
Yeah, it is very unpredictable.
I'm trying to think if I have anything else for. I think that's about it with the Io Rhea thing. But I'm with you. I'd love to see. I mean, Io, Bianca, Rhea. Like Io and Rhea have great chemistry, and Io and Bianca have had bangers.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be fucking sick.
But that's like a main event match. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Like night one main event
for sure. And then bonus points. Who starts the match?
Oh, okay.
1 point each. Who starts the match? That's the only bonus point we're doing. For whatever.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Roxanne Bailey.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna say Naomi Bianca.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'll give the former tag team champs a start. And it's 1 point each. So
yes.
I'm
gonna say Perez. I gotta write that down. Bailey.
That would have been my other two.
It's a story,
It's a story for sure.
Okay. Before we get to the men's chamber, we have it's kind of a prediction. It's for 1 point, I guess. We'll kind of judge it as we go. Will Cody Rhodes give The Rock his soul? We have a dedicated segment on Elimination Chamber where Cody's going to answer the question. Last night on Raw, before we get into our answers, last night on Raw, we had Cody cut a promo.
Oh.
And he was like, as the good guy, I probably should have said no. He's like, he seemed unsure. He didn't say no out the gate.
Those black hairs were starting to trickle out a little bit.
The way you've been, I'm wondering. I'm wondering what
if I think his soul
train of
is
thought.
gonna get
I don't
snatched.
know. But then we had Seth Rollins come out.
Oh, he delivered a fucking
sick, dude,
fiery promo.
People are saying it on Twitter, and I think I agree. Seth's probably got it right now in terms of the best promo.
Bro,
he's
Seth,
he's underrated.
Listen, you got the Punks,
promo-wise.
You got the Codys, you got the Kev. Like there is a lot of guys that can cut great promos, but as far as consistency and every single time he's on that mic, what you're getting. Man, no one better than Seth right now. He's untouchable on the mic.
Cody had a line last night that cracked. And I love the way Cody talks. And last night was it was the most Cody promo, especially him with just like the way the adjectives and the words he tries to use. And when he was like, they're talking about the soul and they're talking about, Cody almost feels a little proud that The Rock chose him because he's like, you know what? Maybe you're just, he didn't say it specifically, but he was like, maybe you're just jealous The Rock didn't, choose you, doesn't want your soul because, and he goes, maybe he didn't choose you because your soul has already been compromised. Like, compromise was so
he could have said like your soul's been tainted or your soul's been this that.
Your soul has already been.
It's like when John Cena announced the death of Osama bin Laden.
Instantly, what I thought.
He's like Osama bin Laden's been whatever and compromised.
Like put to a permanent end or compromise whatever he said.
So good. No one can deliver it like those two. Let me tell you. Once Cody and John do have that feud, whatever, their promos are going to be so crazy. Awesome. They're just going to throw big words, compromise at each other.
So yeah, this was really good. They went back and forth of like Cody brought up old Shield stuff and you hit me in the back with a sledgehammer. You hit Roman in the back with whatever.
Yeah, it's like you're the one to talk
about
fucking doing this shit. You kidding me?
I thought this part was really good. Seth goes, maybe I'm just worried about you. Maybe I want to protect you for making the mistakes and doing the things in your career that I regretted in my career?
Dude, I think
Let's
Seth has the
go.
best well-rounded character as far as like he could be a face one second or heel the next, but like everything he says is like it's true. It's
At
not
this
like,
point, he's more justified than Drew. I think he's taken that.
dude, I think he's taken the torch. He's taken
the
the torch for sure. Yeah, dude. I mean, fires me up more for the chamber match of like, you know, Seth saying, you know, I want that belt too and stuff like that, and being like, don't make me regret me helping you last year and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and,
I loved they brought
really
up like
played into them teaming together.
We were buddies. We did this last year. We took them down.
You're talking about the sledgehammer.
We faced those people that you're going to join.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and it's
well, they
kinda
lost
like,
that match, but still.
Right, still. Yeah, it's like,
Same,
you know,
same.
it goes back to Kevin being like, you helped Roman out, and Seth like, you're helping The Rock out, who literally like made you bleed. Took digs at your mom for fucking 2 months and stuff like that, and you know, it slapped you in the face.
My favorite line here was Seth's ending line where he's like, don't make me hate you.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate you.
Oh.
Don't make me hate you,
So
Cody.
good.
And
So
Cody's
good.
losing all his friends. He's losing all his friends, and Seth is one of the last ones where he's like, I don't want to hate you.
Crazy,
But
too.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy to think that too. He's one of his last friends, Seth Rollins. He's like, and also talking about if Seth wins, like, I want the Cody that came back at 38 and beat me and stuff. I want the Cody, blah 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 blah. Yeah, dude, there is so many, and like it's been evident with Netflix, which is how everyone is intertwined, and there's just continuous stories, and everyone's just involved together some way or another. It's amazing, and that promo really fired me up. But if we want to lead into the question of if Cody Rhodes will have his soul snatched by The Rock.
Yeah, I thought I had one more. There was one more thing that Seth said that I had. Yeah, Cody brought up like, I know you're my shield. I had something else. I forget. Oh, maybe I'll think of it. But anyway, yeah. So is Cody gonna give? I don't know if you already read my answer.
No, I didn't.
So I got a take,
Okay.
and I'm curious the way you're talking. If your take's similar,
Okay.
Is Cody gonna give The Rock his soul? You want me to go first? You want you to go first? I have a little bit of a tale. I have a little bit of a.
I'll give a little bit of
Okay.
a spiel, but I won't go on for too long. Will Cody give The Rock his soul? Yes, but not at Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
So I don't think.
So this is gonna be the plant.
This is
seeds,
planting. I think Cody is gonna be like, Rock. We bled. We've taken shots together. We've partied in each other's buses. Like we become friends and everything. And I appreciate your offer, but that's not who I am. I can see where this could be going. I don't want that. The Rock, I think it just leads into The Rock over the next like few weeks. I don't think we're going to see the last of The Rock. Whether Cody says yes or no, The Rock is very much going to stay involved in whatever storyline it may be. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to become a thing where it's, The Rock is still trying to get in Cody's ear or whatever. And, whether it's on TV, behind the scenes, promos on Instagram, whatever, I think eventually Cody will cave in. Mm-hmm. But I think that'll happen at WrestleMania. In my head. Now, I'm not going to get into who he's going to be fighting at Mania. We'll save that for the predictions or whatever. But
maybe this question should have came after, but go ahead.
Because I do think that this does affect, I mentioned earlier, can affect the result of the men's match
for
and
sure.
Stuff. But to me, it doesn't. I think that...
all that stuff I said before, don't believe
but
it.
I mean, I don't think the result of this match is going to be because of a Rock involvement or the person joining the Rock side or nothing like that. I think reminiscent of, was it WrestleMania's? Is it 17? I think it was 17. The Steve Austin Rock match where Steve Austin turned on the Rock in the match, siding with Vince. That's what I see. I see Cody turning on his opponent during their Mania match, and that's when he sells his soul.
Interesting.
And we'll get into who I think it'll be in a little bit. But no, I don't think he sells his soul at Mania, because I do think we need
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber, excuse me, because I do think it's there, and I do think we're seeing that heel Cody coming out in these matches and more of a ruthless side. We need a little bit more build up to get there. I don't think it's not that it wouldn't be believable, but I would definitely be like, that's kind of soon if he says okay, I'll give you my soul after 2 weeks after he presented it to him. I think it needs a little bit more convincing and building to get there. But I do think I'm interested enough in this story where I do want to see a corporate Cody, like that black hair coming back. Ooh, in a dark
the black
suit.
suits.
Oh, I want it. I want it. And then you do the full arc of Roman Reigns, having to take down his family, The Rock and Cody, full circle moment. I like the idea of
face. You do the full circle moment. You got face Roman, heel
That's
Cody.
what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So I do think
Interesting.
no, he's not gonna give his soul at Chamber, but it will happen eventually.
I think we're going to get the shocking moment. I think Cody's going to give him the soul at the Chamber. He's going to give him the soul, and then like as he's shaking his hand, his hair is going to turn from blonde to black.
I wish they could fucking find a way to do that. That'd be amazing.
I think yes.
Okay.
I'm mainly picking yes. Do I think it's the most likely thing that's going to happen? No. But I have it worked up in my head where I mainly just want this
chaos.
shocking. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm hoping for chaos where it's like, I guess you could say it's less of a, if I'm gunning for that belt, maybe the smarter thing is to pick no. But damn it, in my soul, I want yes. I wrote down the same thing you said, corporate Cody heel, because, again, maybe hindsight 2020, I kind of wish I saved this question for after the men's chamber at this point. But to not give away my chamber picks, we're going to talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
But look at who's in the chamber. Look at who could potentially win it. Punk, Cena, Seth,
Drew,
Logan. But like, let's take those three: Seth, Cena, Punk.
Yep.
Drew. Throw Drew in there.
Okay.
Drew doesn't help my argument.
Okay.
So let's
just those three. We'll say
Cody,
those three.
Punk. I think those are the top three likely, right? Those three. I mean, Seth, I'd say he was kind of going back and forth with heel and baby face. I would say at this point, especially after the promo last night, he's more face for sure.
But he's a tweener.
Cena, obviously we know, ultimate face. CM Punk, ultimate face.
Yep.
Cody's facing one of those men at Mania. That's the result of this, right? Imagine it. I'm going to circle back to it to get specific once I give my pick. But if you have the heel version of Cody going into face, Seth, Cena, Punk, like that. Just,
it's a little bit more like juicier.
Even just on paper, so you're not getting like face versus face, especially if it's gonna close out Mania.
I understand.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's what feels juicy to me.
Okay.
And it is a lot of like what you're saying, but like just a little bit accelerated, and then you can get like that play up of heel. It'd be fun to get that heel play up of like all of a sudden the fucking tide switches. You have the Rock. The Rock has brainwashed Cody, because you already saw he's losing all his friends. He doesn't have anyone. The belt. Seth even made a note to it. That belt starting to weigh a little heavy.
Their moms are best friends.
Friends. So now you finally have a hand being outreached. I think Cody's gonna be desperate and a little brainwashed. I think going to take that hand, and then we're getting especially because like at this point we're coming in with a year of face Cody,
right?
And we've done 3 years of heel Roman.
I was going to say we've kind of 3 years of face Cody since he's been back.
Oh well, sure,
for the full year's champ, but yeah.
So I think at this time it's like, because I don't know, I have no clue who's going to walk out at Mania champion.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't want WWE. I wouldn't say make the same mistakes. It wasn't a mistake, but like when John Cena was around, the head guy, they were just so afraid to turn him heel because of who he was and what he stood for. Merch sales. Yeah. I mean, I get that, but like we missed out on what John Cena as a heel.
Right.
That could have been,
who knows? Could have been an all-timer.
No,
yeah.
It's like that could have solidified him as the GOAT, because the Stone Cold Steve Austins, the Rocks, the Hulk, all the Ric Flairs, all those guys were both faces and heels, and they excelled at both. We never saw that Cena. Luckily for us, Cena's fucking amazing, and he was able to take one character. He obviously was a heel before he became, Super Cena, but he never turned heel again. He's so good that he never had to.
Right.
With Cody, it's like, we're at a point where they could make him like Cena and he's always going to be a baby face. But like, again, not saying don't make the same mistakes. It wasn't a mistake, but it's okay. You have enough big faces on the roster where you can turn Cody into a massive heel. And guess what? You still have a Jey Uso that the kids are going to love.
That's the thing.
Cheer for.
Yeah. I think that's a good reasoning why they didn't do it with Cena. It's like, we don't have the guy to, whatever. But you're right. You do have like the Jey Usos, throw even a Sami in there. You have your Seths, you have your Punks, you have fucking...
You have backup options.
Right.
And they're not they're not backup options by any means. It's just you have other people there that can also do the same thing.
Interesting stuff.
Yes, it is very interesting. I watched it with my friend at his house I mentioned earlier, and it was over. He goes, so he wants his soul? I'm like, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what we got. Yeah. I was like, after 30 minutes, I think so, yeah.
Like, as in-depth we're talking about it, and we're like, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. So, like, the story's fun. The story's good.
Yep.
But again, it did take that props to that video editor to really narrow down what the fuck Rock was talking about, and you get it boiled down to what the actual promo should have been. It's like, that was pretty good.
I'm on board. You know? Yeah, exactly.
I remember the thing... Speaking of this, it reminded me of the thing I wanted to say about Seth before we move on to the Elimination Chamber. Because a lot of people were critical that The Rock, not buried, but like didn't do a great service to the WWE Championship not wanting it. Because he said, I don't want that. I want your soul. Which I don't fully agree with.
I don't really see it that way.
Because a soul in a championship, it's hard to,
and I think like whatever. In the case of like where, again, like The Rock's in his 50s.
Corporate.
He's
Rock.
corporate.
He doesn't want
He's not fighting for world championships anymore. Maybe if this was a year ago, we thought maybe.
Yeah.
But now it's not the case. So I didn't look at it at all of him downplaying the title or anything.
Me neither necessarily, but if that was let's say, if that was the case or not, regardless, I like Seth saying, I don't want your soul, I want that. So like, regardless if that was the case or not, I'd love Seth putting the belt back over and putting the belt back on that pedestal.
I was going to say, for the people that did think it got brought down a little bit, Seth pushed it right back up.
Exactly.
100%. I see that.
Okay, let's move on to the men's Elimination Chamber match, folks.
All right.
Winner will go on to face the undisputed WWE Champion at WrestleMania. Participants are as follows. John Cena versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins.
Oh my gosh.
We already talked in depth about the Seth and Cody promo, but we'll breeze over just because it happened. Logan Paul and Punk promo. It was fine.
It was,
all right, next.
It is what it was.
I think people misinterpreted me disliking it.
Oh, did you not like it?
I really didn't like it. I thought it was pretty bad.
I honestly thought it was I didn't like it. I honestly really lean more towards side of not liking it because it was just very boring.
That's the thing.
It was
I probably won't even say I didn't like it. It just didn't do anything for me.
Nothing.
And what my take was, I think Logan Paul washed him. IMO. I think Logan Paul washed him because CM Punk was told. It's clear Punk was told to tone it down by a million.
Yeah.
That was a cookie cutter, basic, like, I'm better than you and you stink and you're annoying. I thought maybe wash is a hyperbolic phrase, but
I understand.
I think Logan killed him.
I understand from that perspective. I don't think that he washed him because I don't think Logan Paul's promo was good. Neither of them were great. I agree with you. We're like, listen, all CM Punk has to do is like, Logan's like, you've made mistakes and I haven't. Like, all Punk has to do be like, so why aren't you allowed in Japan again?
See, but people are say that. People are saying that. I don't even think you need to do that.
No, you don't
just
have
to.
Just
go into like who he is. Say, like, you think you can come in here, you think you're a hot shot. Listen, kid, I was just like you. I thought, like, you can get deep in it without doing like I'm using the quote unquote cheap heat with the
right, 100%.
Whatever.
I think it could be two things. It could be one where it's like, hey, like, tone it down, don't make him look bad, 100%. And two, being like, oh, you guys will have another promo battle in the future, so like, just you don't give everything away here. That's kind of how I even with like Seth and CM Punk in the past, I think we've said like they've had amazing promos, but we know they have a fucking nuke in their back pocket. Right. You know what I mean?
And that's what it felt like here. Because like I do think Logan Paul won this by a decent margin. But I think it's only because whoever backstage said, take it easy on the kid. Don't fucking. He's gonna be in the chamber. Don't fucking bury him.
Yeah, if you want to say Logan won, that's fine. It's because Punk couldn't do what he probably wanted to say or do.
And because that's the promo we got from Punk. I think Logan ended up coming out better.
The promo battle itself was
it was mid versus mid for sure. Time. It just ended like IMO. I think Logan had a few more. I just liked Logan's promo.
He was able to get a few more jabs in there.
Yeah, and because like Punk just had to keep it to the you're annoying, which was fuck.
True, but yeah. I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I didn't disagree with anything Punk said.
He could have taken it.
And I think
10 levels.
It's higher. Also we're so used to and accustomed to getting like when you see Punk and Logan, you're like, oh, he's gonna fucking murder. I do
think it is funny too, from Punk being obviously the vet being like, I'm not gonna waste my breath on you, kid, type of thing too. That is kind of funny to look at it that way.
It's solid.
I understand that.
Yeah, because that's another way to look at it. I don't necessarily, it's that wouldn't be prime Punk, but that is a take of I'm not going to give my best material because you don't even deserve my best, 100%. Sure.
Yeah. And Logan did get the cheap slapping on him at the end too, so.
That's the thing, what I mean? Yeah. Punk, he got
that's
the whatever.
That's the Mania match right there. Forget about the World Championship.
We don't know. People are nervous about it.
We also
got Logan Paul again during the commercials. We got Logan AJTs.
Who fucking knows?
Which again, we're going to talk about a little bit. We're going to talk about the IC picture. There's a lot of stuff that happened with the IC picture and Penta and Ludwig and Ludwig, whatever. Ludwig. And Pete Dunne. But anyway, back to this. So yeah, the Seth and Cody promo killed this shit.
Oh my god, easily.
Not
even close.
But those are the two. Whatever. We'll move on. People aren't going to be happy with that. Who cares? Okay.
We're the podcast of hot takes now, so
I guess so.
It's okay.
To me, this feels like pretty cut and dry Punk or Cena. I don't know how you're feeling.
No. I have an empty spot right now because I just erased who I thought was gonna win.
Who'd you have?
CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I'm deciding between him and John Cena.
That's who it is.
Let's narrow it down. Let's do some process of elimination. Logan Paul isn't winning. Damian Priest isn't winning.
Well, wait a minute. Well, Logan Paul obliterated Punk last night.
That's true. He does have the momentum going. He didn't get the slap in. I do believe that Logan Paul's opponent could very much be in this match. And I fucking hate to say it. If Cena doesn't win, it's him. I think they're doing Logan Paul Cena at Mania just because I fucking don't know what else they would do, and people would hate it, but Cena would get a win. Besides the point. So Logan Paul's opponent might be in the match. Maybe it's AJ Styles. Who knows? I don't think Seth is going to win. Me neither. I think he's a he's a big name, and hey, you need to put together a main event match. He's as reliable as it comes, and I can buy into that. I just don't think it's the time for them to run it back. I think Roman.
Oh, right, Roman.
I think Roman's going to get involved with Paul Heyman at the very least. And that I think Seth and Roman, whether it's a multi-man match or one-on-one, I think that's their direction at Mania. Personally, that's speculation.
It's so funny that I forgot about Rooks. Roman should be in this match.
If Roman was around, dude, this would have been hands down the best elimination
imagine you
chamber
take out. No shade to the ladder. If you take out Logan Paul's the obvious one. Take out Logan or Damian.
Honestly, I hate to say it. Take out Damian because I know Logan. People have their opinions, but you got the spot fest guy. And
sure, he'll do some shit.
Roman would they would do a 6 spot. But anyways, if Roman was in that match, forget about it. It would be unbelievable.
I agree.
But I do think he
missed opportunity.
Some involvement here that I think Roman do their thing. I really do think Drew. If we get into the whole leaning towards The Rock, handpicked someone else to take their stole, I think Drew is a good option for that. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think if at the end of the night it's like, oh, Drew McIntyre won, I'll say, oh, I think it's because The Rock helped him or something.
It would be very funny if Cody says no, and at the end of the night it's like, I don't take this guy.
Yeah. Well,
this guy said yeah.
But they do have when Drew re-signed, I don't know if you remember the video of The Rock handing him his sword. And they've Drew's openly talked about The Rock.
Oh wow, I don't know if I've ever seen that.
They have The Rock is very he loves Drew and stuff. That's his.
Who doesn't
love the guy? Hard to hate him. Good looking, has great hair, built, whatever. But I don't think at the end of the day, I do think it comes down to Cena or Punk.
I do too.
And
Punk still has the favor.
And that's why I think if Punk loses, I still think he can get
easy money
in this match, right? But I do think too CM Punk is either going to be in the WWE Championship match or with Rollins and Reigns. That's what I think. I think it's going to be. There's going to be a triple threat match. It's going to be one of those two.
I don't think that's crazy.
With all that being,
or unfortunately with Logan Paul.
Or with Logan Paul, that too. At the end of the day, like I had Punk written down because.
I have my pick solidified, so I'll just kind of if you're still mulling on it,
go ahead.
I am choosing John Cena. I think John Cena is going to win. This is for my. Oh yeah, the confidence points got kind of fucked up.
This is
we'll do Cody and Rock is a bonus point for the. We'll call it that.
Okay.
This is my one for sure.
Yeah.
I forget if I said it, but the Bianca was my Bianca was actually my 3. Kevin Owens my 2. But anyway,
I have the same numbers.
All right, so. I have John Cena. It goes all the way. I said, we're going to circle back. It goes all the way back to, and this is a lot, which I got to stop doing this. A lot of my predictions end up being me fantasy booking my way into it.
Sure.
Because in my head now.
Listen, you came close with Roxanne at the Rumble when you said she was going to win.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
in my head, but before this match, Cody, his hair turns black. He becomes heel. He sides with whatever. Heel Cody, right? The first time WWE has seen this American Nightmare heel Cody. What better face?
There's no one better.
What better face to go against?
No, there's no one
than
better.
John fucking
I'm
Cena.
with you. I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
I back you on that.
And then, like you said, or like I said, like we're talking about, Punk still has his favor. Put Punk in if you add Punk to this match, like Cena, heel Cody, face Cena straight up is great. If you want to add Punk to this match, by all fucking means, great. Punk and Cena have their thing. Cena, Punk and Cody, whatever. Or if the favor ends up being like, oh, I want to take down Roman, Seth, whatever.
Right, yeah.
The favor is so vague. It's going to play a lot into it. But that is what I've booked myself into is the heel Cody in the middle of the night, leading into Cena winning. He lost the Rumble. He came in second place.
People would be rooting for Cena like crazy if Cody, like everyone knew Cody turned heel earlier in the night.
I could also, to what you've been saying, or we've been saying, we've been talking about for a few weeks, is the Cena retirement tour. It is Elimination Chamber is going to be in March.
Second match.
Second match. Elimination Chamber is in March. WrestleMania is in April. April is pretty early from December. We talk about this a lot, where it's like Cena doesn't need to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Right.
It can be down the line.
Right.
Build up that Cena's losing. He's not confident. We saw in the press conference and at the Rumble, he was already shaken. He was like, I'm putting myself in the chamber. I need to be there. I need to get 17.
Right.
So him losing the chamber would add to this climbing back up, losing confidence thing. So...
Bless you.
I had that sneeze built up for like 3 minutes. I was waiting on it. Yeah, so I don't know. So I could see it either way. There's so much reason for Cena to lose. There's so much reason for him to win. And I think, like you were saying, earlier in the night, whatever happens with that Rock and Cody segment does play into, not physically, but like what a story coming out of the Elimination Chamber would be.
I just have so many things
going
through my mind right now. I just because there's so many the outcomes can lead into so many different things.
Big time.
Because now in my head, you're talking from the perspective of Cody turning heel, and that's the matchup we get, the heel Cody face Cena, where I'm in the perspective of I think Cody turns heel at Mania, and I can see him doing that against both Cena or Punk.
That's the thing. Punk is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Punk is. At this point, Punk's an equal babyface.
As much
for sure.
as you say that about Cena, and I agree with you 1,000%, the biggest babyface of all time versus corporate Cody, that is money, makes it even more money than if it's face versus face. But the CM Punk being the old vet that's been on both sides of it and kind of being the voice of reason, I think is just as you can sell that just as much of a Cody Cena. I think because if Punk wins, I think Cena could also get himself added to the match, as crazy as it sounds, because he threw himself into the chamber match. So I think he can do that too, or he fights Logan Paul. Where if Cena wins, CM Punk can get added to the match, or he fights Roman Seth, or he fights Logan Paul. It's like,
God,
you know what I mean? Like,
whatever happens, all roads lead to Logan Paul.
All roads lead to Logan Paul or a triple threat match.
All roads lead to an unfortunate WrestleMania match.
No
with
matter
Logan Paul.
what happens or who wins, I do think Cody wins at Mania. I see him coming out on top. It's just, who do I think he's gonna turn heel against?
That's funny. I really don't, especially if it's.
Because I know I'm looking very far ahead, and maybe I shouldn't, but like, this is my fantasy cap being on now.
I really don't know if it's either way, Cena, Cody, Punk, Cody.
This is gonna be the biggest fantasy booking podcast we've ever had.
Yeah.
This all being said,
like, I could see, because Cody's had the belt for a year. I don't think they need to do another year plus 2 year whatever run. So like, I could see Cody. I'm not staking my claim. I have no idea, but I wouldn't be shocked, especially if it's a heel Cody, heel dropping the dropping the title. But on the flip side, if like let's say the main event again, yeah, you're right. We are going into fantasy booking, but let's say the main event is at 41, night 2, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, heel Cody, face Cena, and in 2025, John Cena beats Cody Rhodes in the main event of 41. It's an interesting booking.
That's crazy booking decision.
It's crazy. It's honestly risky.
But the people, obviously, people would love it.
People would love it in the moment.
In the moment, I think. But you step back and we'll look back on and be like, "Ooh, maybe they should have let Cody win."
It'd be like, holy shit! How old's fucking Cena? Is he in his late 40s? Early, I don't know, whatever.
Late 40s, whatever.
It's like, beat Cody
and that's
Rhodes
why I still
in the main event.
And that's why I still think. And also, like, if CM Punk wins this, what's his fucking favor? Because at this point, I think the favor has to be the main event Mania. Right. So if he wins here, when's he going to use that favor? Next year? You know what I mean? So
walk with me again. Fancy booking. Walk with me.
Go ahead.
The Rock was in the Brock's bloodline, coded whatever. You know who was also in the bloodline? Paul Heyman. Yeah. Paul Heyman's a CM Punk guy. CM Punk's favor is, you know what? I want The Rock to take my soul.
You know what, Cody, step aside. My favor is he takes my soul. I can see CM Punk also like being like The Rock being like, I want you, and I can see Punk playing into that out, and we're not getting
corporate
into that.
Punk. Corporate Punk would be crazy.
I do think Cena at some point will win the world title, but I do still see the trials and tribulations thing. That's not happening right away.
That's why I'm so like, and it feels early.
I can see him beating heel Cody later on down in the year.
Sure.
Like, I can see
maybe Cena, not at WrestleMania 41.
I can see Cena beating corporate Cody, but I just don't see it happening in the next 2 months. That all being said.
Buckle up.
That all being said, John.
Oh yeah, who do you have?
I don't even say who I had yet. I am gonna pick John Cena.
That is a sweep for the same picks.
Actually, because I was crazy. All on board with CM Punk, but just us talking about it and me putting it out there, it just like whether it's going into Mania, heel Cody, face Cena, or whether coming out of it, you see heel Cody and face Cena.
Or even if it's face Cody, face Cena.
Right, but sure. I mean, what I meant by that is like Cody turns heel mid-match.
Oh, I'm with you.
Either way, it's like that like that's a money match. That
God
is
damn it.
Fucking old face, new face, old era, new era. And then if you want to throw Punk in there, even fucking better.
And this is like we were talking about Punk, and you brought him up. Excuse me, you brought him up in terms of like, Punk. I agree with you. Punk is number 2 to Cena's face, and to like Punk is the biggest face, when he comes out on TV, whatever. Yeah. But if you're really looking at it objectively, like who's the bigger name on the marquee? John Cena or Punk? It's Cena.
It's Cena, especially with the retirement run and everything. Right. And just imagine you have Cody, Punk, and Cena hyping up this Mania match.
Triple threat would be fucking
It's gonna
crazy.
cook. The promo battle's gonna cook. And then whether it's my theory or yours, guess who's gonna be fucking hovering over everyone? The Rock. So you're gonna have all 4 of those guys, and maybe Paul Heyman, because that's the fucking favor.
Sure.
You have those 5 guys. Paul Heyman not as much, but those 4 at least.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, those 4. That's the biggest fucking build up to a WrestleMania main event you could ever have.
And then, so you think Cody's gonna turn mid match? Paul Heyman turns mid-match, turns on Punk, sides with Cody. Cody Rhodes the Paul Heyman guy.
And
then, holy shit. And then, whoa. And then, because we were talking earlier, then you have heel Cody to go up against face Roman. Right. Heel Cody with Paul Heyman.
Dude, listen, there's a lot on the table here. There is a
Oh
lot.
my God.
There's a lot of shit that WWE
It's gonna be
could
so
do here.
funny to look back on this episode and not one thing.
We are
not
incorrect
one thing.
on every little thing we're talking about.
But I'm liking our book.
The possibilities are really endless. And
Holy shit.
Because the thing is, it's not that far fetched to think that Cody does turn heel soon at Mania
I don't
or whatever.
think it is, yeah.
Because have been teasing and leading into the idea of him turning heel for months now.
Why doesn't he have friends?
And
For sure.
And now that The Rock is in, I know Punk called him Satan himself, but The Rock being the fucking Soul Snatcher, that's my new nickname. I had
Snatcher.
the fucking
Oh, that's Lola Vice's
is that her
finisher, isn't it? Soul Snatcher?
No, Soul Ruka. Soul Ruka.
Sorry, but it's that's Soul Ruka's finisher.
Correct. Yeah.
Soul Snatcher.
Yeah. Honestly, not a bad nickname for what The Rock's trying to go for here. Anyways,
The final Soul
Snatcher. I don't think it's like with The Rock being included now. I don't think it's crazy to think that we see heel Cody maybe a little bit sooner than we expected, or maybe just at all. Maybe
And I don't think Triple H is gonna see those old fucking the indie run. Triple H is tapped in.
Oh my gosh.
He's like heel Cody's money. He knows it.
I saw a video. It was from a clip of being the Elite, and it was when Cody was being possessed or whatever. And it was like, this is when The Rock's taking it. So, WWE, Stardust, just saying all crazy shit, whatever.
He's like two-night spectacle.
Two-night spectacle. Yeah, it's fucking, and he has like WWE like branded on his chest or whatever. Super funny, but they can make it work. Heel Cody would be awesome.
Wow.
I don't know when we'll see it, but I'm seated for all this. I'm locked in.
Yeah, we got into the weeds there. That's gonna be interesting.
Tell us your fantasy
Holy
booking
shit.
in the comments, because there really is a million fucking directions.
Yeah, give us your fantasy booking, give us your predictions for sure. What do you have?
I thought this was gonna be a shorter episode. Holy shit, was I wrong?
All right, we're gonna finish up Raw. Because it is kind of just a prediction show, but we're already here before we jump over to the Patreon, because there's some stuff that still have implications toward Mania and what have you. But all right, we talked about it briefly. We got Ludwig Kaiser defeating Penta and Pete Dunne.
Yes,
this was fun. I had a good time.
I'm happy.
Penta is better and better every single week.
Yeah, I agree. I think these three guys have great chemistry together.
They're building something here.
They're building something here. I'm honestly happy Ludwig got the win while also protecting Penta here, so he didn't eat a pin.
Don't love that we have a loss on the books, but fine. No pin.
It could be
sure.
worse. It could be worse. I think Ludwig, huge win for him, giving him a little bit more credibility and stuff for whatever story, whatever we're pushing here. And it was a great match.
We say it every week, but when Ludwig graduates from this kind of mid card era, or whatever, in a couple of years, he's gonna be the best heel fucking like old school Randy Orton-esque heel world champion.
He's gonna be a great champion.
Yeah, he's got a massive future. But yeah, this was fun. I'm curious. Like, the IC title seems so separate. Which, the easy fix to that is, do the multi-man match, whatever. But, the IC thing, I'm not sure if they're even going to... I'm not even sure they're going to involve at this point. I have no idea
what the fuck they're going to do with that.
But they're building something.
Yep.
Lyra Valkyrie retained against Dakota Kai.
Sure.
Ivy Nile seems up next. This was fine.
Just why didn't you have Ivy win last week? Ivy shows up at the end to set up her match. You should have just had her win last week instead of Dakota losing again.
Yeah, and I think this is even, it might be a bigger implication of Dakota loses, doesn't get the IC belt, which I think Lyra winning was the right decision. I'm glad Lyra does have a defense.
Right, I agree. To me, it's to Dakota's, why did it have to be Dakota?
I now with this loss, I'm even less shocked if we end up just getting Io and Dakota teaming up at Mania.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I also can see they gave Lyra the defense for whenever she defends it next against Ivy. Is it? No, it's not next week. I can see Ivy winning just because they gave Lyra the defense. So at least she has that to her reign. We had Gunther defeating Akira Tozawa. Banger.
While watching this, I didn't like it. After it, I love it.
It was a squash match. There's no other way of going around it.
I would not call this a squash match at all.
I think it was a squash match. I mean,
Akira was fucking killing it.
He looked good, but he got beaten down when he was getting beaten down.
Yeah, but a squash match needs to be because he got in offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I wish it was more of a squash match, because I like the that's what I mean by I didn't like it watching it. watching it, I was like, okay, this should be a squash match. I was excited to see a squash match. I feel like we don't get those, especially with these big world champions.
Sure.
I was expecting him to beat down Akira. All of a sudden, like Akira,
he was getting shots in for sure.
He was. He almost had him beat at one point. He had this roll up that fucking made my heart stop. He took him down. He was fucking laying in punches that made Gunther like a fucking bitch. That's why I didn't like this, because Akira got so much in that I was like why is Akira Gunther the match should have ended in like 30 seconds.
I honestly like the idea of Gunther going up against guys that because before the match he did like a promo before and was saying like you've worked to get here and stuff like that. Like I don't know the words exactly, but like you've worked your ass off to get to this point, whatever. And look at you, like you're with them doing like dances, because when he walked in, they were doing a TikTok dance, which Maxine actually posted on TikTok. It came up on my For You page. But I like the idea of him kind of like going up against opponents and like trying to get that more edgier side out of them and being like, Tozawa has been like more of a comedy wrestler the last few years, but like he was a former cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, they did do a little promo before where he was
over in Japan. He was amazing. Again, like you're here for a reason type of thing. So he's like getting that. So I did enjoy that. But
see, I think it was more so about, which again I didn't like this in the moment, but like a metaphor for Gunther facing the underdog, because obviously Akira Tozawa, the greatest underdog,
100% in this
in this role, Akira Tozawa was Jey Uso here. That was that's the metaphor I got. Akira Tozawa was Jey Uso, and Akira getting all that offense was like him being Jey Uso in the moment was like, ooh, like if Akira got the upper hand, Akira whatever, so could Jey.
Right.
Again, I think they went a little overboard with like the roll up and the whatever, but coming out of this, looking back on it, fucking sick to see Akira Tozawa get all this.
I am happy he got that presentation.
Yeah,
and he was put in there.
That's my coming from it. Is like that was like it might someone I saw someone comment of just like might be one of my favorite matches of the year.
Honestly, and if it builds to something, like put Tozawa back in like, I don't know, like a mid card scene or something, where I'm not saying he's got to win anything, but he can be, he can still go. Obviously, it's just in a comedy story group, whatever. So I'm happy that he got a good showing. Also, one of the best bits from that match after was Otis doing a quick like yeet thing. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but it was like they were walking away and he just like a quick. I was dying laughing when I saw it.
It's funny he did that. I didn't see that on Twitter, but like also they had like the backstage segment with Theory and Waller, and Theory did a little.
Everyone does it a little bit. It's funny.
So this was hot and this was interesting.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, imagine this was Intercontinental Champion Gunther. He would have fucking killed him.
Yeah.
So like,
two different Gunthers.
They are still playing, which I don't love, this like lack of confidence Gunther and this kind of weaker Gunther. But I appreciate them doing the metaphor with Jey being Akira.
Yeah.
It is just like looking outside the story. Like I said, it is fucking sick to see Akira fucking almost get the win on Gunther and hit these fucking moves. But yeah, so this is interesting. All right, a few more things before we hop over to the Patreon. Got the New Day defeating LWO. We'll talk, and then there's a beat down. They beat the shit out of Dragon Lee at the end. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm honestly. I think I did mention it last week, where we talked about like the New Day, and I'm starting to get a little bit. They're getting a little boring for me, just because it's like, they did
a little bit old day for you.
Yeah, a little old day, and I think last night just kind of like was a reminder for me, where it's like, okay, like we're not really doing much else here. Like they did the thing with Big E, and they're just kind of like riding that
which
out.
Was such a high.
It was such a high. They just haven't done anything with it. And like last night during their promo, which I don't know if this was also during the commercial or like what it was, but they were doing the promo and everything, and then to me, it was like, whatever, it's a heel promo. Then they had to revert to bringing up Big E, and that's when they got their biggest heat. Where it's like, to me, I'm like, they can't keep relying on Big E to get that heat. They need to give them something else. And they beat LWO, and they beat down Dragon Lee, so that does help. It gives them, they're doing heel things, but I don't know. They have to take it up another notch here, because we're starting to get a little complacent. We're getting a little boring.
See, my take is, am I excited at this point for the New Day to come out? No.
Yeah, not as much as I was a month ago, for sure.
I think I'm less cold on them than you are, because I'm more upset. Which maybe this is part what you're saying, but I'm more upset about who they're facing.
Sure.
So I'm still pretty into the New Day. Like I said, I'm way colder on them, but I'm still into them. I still think they're cutting decent promos. I do agree that it is a little copy and paste every single week.
Yeah. Not that the promo's bad. It's
like
just
the in-ring work is still there. I like their heel work, but you came off that really hot Big E thing. Now you got heel New Day. It should be this big thing, whatever. And you're putting them against LWO. And no real disrespect to LWO, but
no, it's not a group that's like at a high enough point where they can elevate the New Day. Or
right.
Be a good first feud for them.
And they're like all of them, like Dragon Lee, the straight up LWO tag team. They're all super talented. 100%. I mean, I think it was Joaquin Wilde looked fucking great last night. It's not the talent. It's just like LWO aren't booked as a hot thing. People don't really care about them. Yeah. So it's like if you're trying to get the New Day to be heels and beat a face team, LWO are baby faces for sure, but it's like no one really, they're not that team right now.
Yeah.
So it's like putting them with LWO feels like a waste of time, you know?
It's like who else to like to their defense, I guess to their defense too. It's like, well, who else do they have to go up against on Raw? Like I feel like
decent point. Yeah, exactly.
There's no one else. So it's like they have to put the LWO with them. They could do War Raiders, but I said that I would like to see them with the tag team belts. So I think that would freshen things up, whatever. But it might be too soon. War Raiders just won it,
right?
Yeah, no, I think it's a matter of it being a little copy and paste for me, and then just them who they're going up against. Like they're not giving us a reason to really care.
To me, that's like that's like the biggest thing. Like if you just match like a good team that's like hot 100%. And babyface, and then you can get more out of the New Day, and to like you said, capitalize on that by changing up the promos a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, we're gonna round out here a couple more things. I'm gonna jump to this last. We got IC title stuff. Braun Breaker, Judgment Day attacked Braun Breaker during his match with Dom, which was a lot of fun. Or at least the match was a lot of fun, and then you get the obvious beatdown. Blah blah. We got a little Finn Balor Braun Breaker stare down.
Is Finn involved in this now? Is he in the IC title picture?
I would have given my soul to The Rock. I would have sold my soul saying I thought it was going to be Finn Dom at Mania. I thought that was the match.
Yeah.
But now you got like Finn being like, imagine Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, AJ Styles for the IC title. Woo!
That's amazing. Yeah, dude, you could do fucking at this point, make it a 10-man match for the IC belt. There's so many people that are like involved in this, but not involved in it, but like in some way is like all connected. It's so crazy.
I love this moment where like Braun, I think Braun just speared Carlito. Braun speared someone. I think it was Carlito. Or it must have been Carlito. He turns around and he hits this fucking quick turnaround to get right in Finn's face. And it was exactly, you're going to like this. It was when, I want to say, I don't know what year it was, but it was back in the day, around like maybe 09, 2010, something like that. Maybe a little later, when CM Punk was with the Nexus and Randy Orton was about to punt, I think, Randy Orton was about to punt someone's head off. And CM Punk runs to the ring, Orton punts whoever's head off, and then Punk slides in, and Randy turns around, hits the fucking, and starts beating the mat.
That's such a fucking great spot.
That's exactly what it felt to me, because it was just like
go
that.
Ahead, do something.
It was that same intensity of just like, you thought you get the upper hand. No, I'm fucking turn around, do something.
Yeah, I love that.
I fucking love this.
There's a lot of people involved with Braun Breaker, like you said, Finn, AJ, there's Dom, there's Penta, there's Ludwig, there's Pete Dunne, there's Sheamus if you want to throw him back. And
he's the name I keep forgetting.
Yeah, he hasn't been on TV.
We like Sheamus, Braun Breaker, and Sheamus. Like Sheamus getting the Grand Slam championship. I don't even know if that's like in the cards at this point, but it's so good on paper.
100%. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking possibilities.
All right, last thing we'll touch upon, and we're not really going to talk about that much. It's happening within a few hours of this going live, brother. We got the Hardy Boys on NXT. Are you crazy?
We fucking won, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeff and Matt Hardy are back on WWE TV tonight.
Huge night. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're fighting.
They're not fighting Fraxium, are they?
No. What tag team is it? It's
the young guys. It's
Oh my god.
I don't know their names.
NXT match. Hold on, everyone.
They're like, I don't know what, they're like super new.
Yeah, they are. It's where is it? Oh, here we go. No Quarter Catch Crew. Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne.
Ooh, I pulled the Tavion Heights in my card pack.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. The card for tonight is actually stacked.
What do we got? We're looking at
Stephanie Vaquer. Or Vaquer. Vaquer. My God, I always get it fucked up. Defending her belt against Carmen Petrovich, North American Championship match. And TNA X Division Championship match. Moots versus Lexis King. Moose showed up last week.
TNA X Division.
TNA X Division, excuse me. Tag team match, Hardys versus No Quarter Catch Crew. And then Ricky Saints.
Is that for the TNA tag titles or no?
No.
Okay.
Ricky Saints and Javon Evans versus Ethan Page and Wesley, and that match will be that'll be.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about. God, yeah, it's so hard.
It's been a long week.
Any day we record on, we're gonna miss something because you know what I mean. If we record on a Thursday, then we're late to SmackDown and Raw. We record tonight, we miss NXT and Dynamite. But anyway, that's sick. Hardy Boys tonight.
Looking forward to it.
I like. Awesome. We haven't talked about Ricky Stark Saints yet. I like Ricky Saints.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it too.
I'm cool with it.
I kind of wish Ricky Saint. I wish it was Ricky Saint. Maybe Ricky Saints. I don't know.
I think he's from. Yeah, he said it's the Saints because I think he's from New Orleans.
That's what Yeah. Maybe a little too.
It could have been. It could have been a lot worse.
1,000,000%.
Honestly, like it flows. It's close
Ricky
enough.
Saints.
Ricky
I like
Saints.
it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
It was funny because like. I think the wrestling community just doesn't like change, and so like once it got changed, like instantly on Twitter, people were like, "What the fuck?" And then like after a few hours, it was like, oh, "I can't wait for the Ricky Saints match." It's like
I can't wait for the first shirt to come out.
Yeah,
it's like when it's happened many times, but like Walter changed to Gunther. Oh my God, people are fucking losing their minds over that. But it's
like hindsight 2020, like Gunther is a million times better than Walter. Walter just feels like a dad.
I think both would have like if he kept Walter sure. I don't think my perception of his doesn't change, but like it didn't change when it changed to Gunther. Like he's still the same person.
Gunther sounds a
little more intimidating, especially you add a little Gunther, the ring general.
Wow.
But all right, yeah.
All right. Well, that's your little NXT preview.
Hell yeah.
For tonight. Thank you everyone for listening. Let us know your predictions in the comments. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think of all this fantasy booking and what have you. Let us know if you would give The Rock your soul.
Yeah, and for what? What would you trade your soul for?
And for what? Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. We're heading over there for a wrestling Q&A. It's $5 a month, and you get the entire back catalog as well as access to the Discord. We can do predictions with everyone. Hit join on the channel. Follow us on everything. We have merch in the description. We appreciate you check it out. With that said, Dante, I'm gonna close out my tab. I'll see you over there on the after party. We'll go to the other spot and we'll answer some questions.
See you in the Patreon.
Everyone, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Boom.
Any advice on finding a girlfriend in your late 20s so you don't die alone, especially when 70% of your life is work? Hey, brother, if you find out the answer, send it my way. As of right now, what match opens night 1 and starts Mania with a bang?
Oh, fuck.
Jay Gunther. If Batista was to have one more match, who would you want him to face?
If I do scrambled, I load it up with cheese.